Hey, it's Mike from the SEO Pub, and I have another video today for you about Screaming Frog. Screaming Frog's probably the single most useful tool for performing website audits. The team behind Screaming Frog continues to add new features and functionality that really keep it at the top of the market when it comes to audit tools. And while these new features are amazing, I find that a lot of people are not aware of many of the features that already exist within this versatile tool. Today I'm going to cover 3 features in Screaming Frog that you probably didn't know existed. Before I do that though, head over to the SEOpub.com. Make sure you sign up for the newsletter there where I send out tips like this every single week. We also have a free Slack community you can join where you can ask SEO questions, there's a ton of ongoing SEO discussions in there. Make sure you check that out. So the first tip I want to share today is that you can change the storage mode for crawling really large websites. By default, Screaming Frog uses your device's RAM for storing crawl data, which makes it crawl really fast. But what happens when you have to crawl a really large website? This option is going to bring most desktops, most laptops to a screeching halt. But Screaming Frog does offer an option to deal with this. You can simply change the storage mode from RAM to what they call database storage instead. To engage database storage in Screaming Frog, you simply go to Screaming Frog, select Settings, and go to Storage Mode. And you're going to select the database storage option there, change it from the memory storage. Then you're going to hit the Browse button and select the location where you want to save your crawls. I use a folder I set up specifically for Screaming Frog on an SSD drive, and I would only use this option with an SSD drive. If you have an old mechanical hard drive, I would not use this option. It's going to be a lot slower. And as Screaming Frog's tooltip here recommends, I would avoid using any kind of network drive. Now they say network drive, I'd imagine they mean wireless network. If it's an Ethernet, I haven't tried an Ethernet connection. It probably goes pretty fast. And also avoid using any sort of storage that's synced to a cloud service that would probably slow things down. I use this option all the time, and honestly, I can't see a difference in crawl speeds between using the database storage with an SSD drive and the RAM storage option. Second tip I want to share with you is about excluding URL parameters. This option is especially useful for crawling large e-commerce sites. On a large e-commerce site, if you don't exclude URL parameters for things like product sizes, colors, pricing, and other variations of products, it could result in you crawling an extra hundreds of thousands of URLs, maybe even extra million URLs on a really large site. And you could use, Screaming Frog does have an exclude option for crawling URLs in it, but they actually baked in a simple toggle specifically for URL parameters for you to use. You simply go to Configuration, URL Rewriting, and under Remove Parameters, hit the toggle box that says Remove All, and that will remove all URL parameters in your crawl. And the last tip I want to share with you is using Screaming Frog to audit your image sizes as well as the image sizing. So a good best practice for images is to keep them at or under 100 kilobytes. This just helps things load faster. It's good for your page speed. And you can find all of your images that are over 100 kilobytes in Screaming Frog really fast. All you have to do is, after you do a crawl, go to the Images tab, and under Overview, use this filter. It says over 100 kilobytes. Select that, and it will show all the images that crawl that are over 100 kilobytes. You can also find incorrectly sized images. So if you're not aware, web browsers will take an image at whatever dimensions it exists, and then resize it to whatever CSS code it calls for before displaying it. A lot of people upload images, a lot of web developers, website owners upload images at sizes much larger than what they're displayed at. For example, they might upload an image at 2000 by 2000 pixels, and it's only displayed at 500 by 500 pixels. But the browser is going to load that full 2000 by 2000 pixel image, which is going to be a much larger file size, and then it's going to shrink down the dimensions when it displays it. And this can make your pages load a lot slower. Screaming Frog gives you an easy way to identify these across your entire site. In this same Overviews tab, there's an option right here. It says incorrectly sized images. You just select that, and if there were any that were loading at a different size than what they're displayed at, it would show it right here for you. Do you have features that you use in Screaming Frog that you absolutely love and think a lot of people don't know about? Make sure you drop them in the comments down below in this video. And again, head over to the SEOpub.com. Make sure you sign up for the newsletter there, join the Slack community, and I'll catch everyone in the next one.